best control map. You were 10-0 before you started losing a couple. 6 out of the last 7 times. El Asilo control team in Atlanta phase, you best believe they are ready for this match.
That's exactly right. As we said, practice-wise for Minnesota, you're coming into this match and you know what that swing map is going to be. And as you discussed, right, they're facing off against teams on the other side of the bracket. Just a wonderful opportunity here for Minnesota to play a map that I'm sure they have been working on day in and day out. But now for the Subliners, you have to rely on Old Faithful. You have to rely on a map that you've taken pretty consistently versus this Minnesota team as of late. And right into round 1 we go. It is New York on the attacking side as the Bulldog looks to get things going. A lovely little 3-0 start for him as we are halfway through at A.
Yeah, Kismet had a slow start in that map, number 1. He's looking to bounce back. Try to allow his teammates to start off the reverse sweep. That's already 2 segments done at the A point. New York are currently up by 3 lives, so Rokkr, they're just going to decide to chalk this one up, play for the exit kills. Subliners is setting the time. It's all about fighting for that map control. And look how patient Skies is playing in towards white. He knows that his teammates are all on the opposite side of the map, but that's a power position that you have to hold.
Yeah, it's great work from New York to just be aware of each other's arrows. The comms, absolutely fantastic right now. Problem being, Hydra's out of the fight. So that's now going to allow for Skies to maybe have to reposition. A few of your players are dropping past that 50-yard line. So all of that wonderful play, all of that patience ends up going to a bit of a collapse, but we'll see if they can build upon it. They'll have to work out of their spawn. Great kills coming in from Hydra. Quite a bit of damage. Lands that nade, at least it looked like it. However, Rokkr come through and deliver another quick triple. New York now in their base. Sky's the only man who's past that 50-yard line now.
Cammy's just finessing in towards white. He was able to find 5 in a row, earns himself at least close to the cruise missile if he can pick one else up. He takes down Hydra, can't find the kill on the Kismet, but job already done. That's 40 seconds wiped off the clock. You know your teammates still have full map control, but just in case it gets a little scary, you got that cruise missile to work with. Only a minute left. Subliners have full field control, so they can start to put pressure from the front end. But as long as you're Rokkr trading efficiently, that's another 3 dead in the feed. They are doing what they need to do to win this defense.
And just a subtle detail, in that little player cam, you can see Fame. He's actually screen peeking, looking at his teammates. That's something that Bance loves to do traditionally. You can tell Rokkr right now are grouped up and they're ready for every single little bit of attack that New York looks to make. This has been picture-perfect defense so far throughout these last few minutes, but this is the chance. This is the opening for New York that will pause the time at 39 seconds.
Oh, Hydra's able to find 2. He's still finessing. He's still dancing around BS&D, but Fame wins the one-on-one. And attached to the back end takes down Skies. So with only 30 seconds left, potentially the final push coming in from the Subliners. Kismet and Priest to start it off. Now you can get on that B point, stop the clock, but it's all about these next wave of fights. And look at the route that Bance is currently trying to go on.
Bance currently in a gun engagement, trying to win that one versus Skies. Not able to do so. It's a nade that ends up taking down Mr. Benjamin, but it's Cammy with the streak over the top. The man is at 9-4. Pacing early here in round 1. New York doing everything they can, trying to utilize the smoke to be their cover. Time currently paused at 17 and change. They continue to build it up, but it's 2 quick ones there for the Rokkr. Any segment is big right now for New York. Does not feel like this round is going to go their way, but they continue to dive deep. They continue to work hard, but attach comes through with a few, and that very well should be it, Jay.
He just shut it all down by himself. He found all 4 kills with that AR in hand. Doesn't matter, up close and personal, he makes it happen. Fame with the final 2. You have a couple players from the Subliners going on flanks, but now it's the Soul Man here. It's Hydra. He gets taken down. And Minnesota Rokkr, for 2 minutes and 15 seconds, hold down the B point. When it got a little bit scary, Cammy invests that cruise missile. You take down Kismet, but then it was all on attach, man. He gets 4 in those final moments to secure the round for Rokkr. They used to be the best team on defense. They struggled as of recent, but that's the team that we know of old. Rokkr up 1-0.
Yes, you said, Rokkr, their defense at the start of the season, around 80%. And then in their last few losses, it's actually gone down to around 25%, but that is vintage stuff here from Minnesota. We were talking about New York, it's been Old Faithful. I guess you could say rather it's been more of a recent one for them that they've been taking versus Rokkr. In reality, this is Old Faithful from Minnesota. This was a team that at one point was 10-0 on this map, and right now they're relying upon it to possibly deliver a 3-0 versus the Subliners. Job done in our opening round, but can they do it on attack? a lot of this game could be decided in this round potentially. If Fame can earn this streak, a cruise missile on attack, you will take it. One away.
Yeah, he's just playing his life. He knows how crucial this one-on-one gunfight is going to be. With his teammates dropping around the map, just check a nice little corner and play for one gunfight. This is all that is needed. Subliners fully pushed up all the way through A side, and Hydra wins the up close and personal to take down Fame. Shuts down that cruise progression. But at least it opens up a lane for Minnesota to now apply the pressure over towards B. But every single player drops beside attach. It's going to be easy to get these guys all spawned, but you got to be able to stop that clock. Time to wrap back, get towards A.
Oh my God, attach again, goes low. Hits him with the old drop shot. Vance finally puts up his third kill here so far of the game. Was at one, I believe, heading into this round. So we're talking about slaying. You need it so often on LOClo just to get out of your base. You're starting to see collaborations, some kills coming in across the board. And from there, that is what allows you to hop on that A objective. Time, by no means still in a great position. New York could go for the late contest. That appears to be the case. Hydra with one, trying to go for a pre-fire. New York do not want to allow for this one to go the opposite direction.
You don't want to try to get this one up for free. You still have players contesting it, but you also don't want to lose these gunfights too quickly and allow Minnesota Rokkr to go for the chain over towards B. But that's going to be A out the way. They tied it up in the lives column. Now Subliners have to hold strong on their defense over towards B for a minute. You already have Skies in a position towards White. You have full control of back 10. It's all of Minnesota trying to apply the pressure through the back end. Advance in a crucial position, but that nade takes him down. He was trying to spawn New York on the opposite side of the map. But once he gets taken care of, New York, no need to worry. They still in full control.
And Cammy eventually gets spot out as well. That just goes to show how important the Bants can be on the map. He stays alive. Minnesota have a little bit more reinforcements to maybe make a play toward the backside of the mountain, to the backside of the spawn there from the Subliners. But 35 seconds still to go. Can New York continue to hunker down, to lock it down? Rokkr end up finding two in stride, so this next gunfight's gonna be massive. Kismet trying to even up the numbers while it's Fame going for info.
Yeah, Priestess knows that at least a player has to be close to me. I gotta back up. Try to play my life as long as I can because my teammates are spawning across the map. Fame takes care of him, but New York still do a great job of trading efficiently. Priest and Hydra combined for two. Now the sole man here is going to be Fame. With only 15 seconds left, he has to go big, and he gets sniffed out by Kismet, and this is looking like a Subliners round.
Yeah, it absolutely does. Final few lives are up for Minnesota. Maybe one last contest at this. Yeah, Tatch, he ends up falling in stride. Final resting place is going to be at the soccer field. And thankfully for New York, they're able to find an answer. Back-to-back defenses so far here on LOClo.
Now, if you are the Subliners, you're currently up by 2 segments. So if it does go to that round number 5, you will have that defense. But on the attacking side, we saw early pressure over towards A. They got those initial gunfights. They were able to extend the time all the way to 2 minutes and 15 seconds. But they just couldn't find an opportunity over towards B. So the game plan probably is going to be a little bit different for the Subliners. You find the kills at the right time, especially right off the rip. Let's try to transition over and capture that beat point because that's a lot more difficult to get done.
Let's see what the attempt looks to be. Looks like it is going to be somewhat standard off the rip. Try to look for some control for bottom warehouse. Maybe get some players into A, maybe transition over toward that B zone, which, as we said, is the more difficult of the two. The more prized possession on this map is to get B out of the way. But right now for New York, you're not really dealing with a whole lot of house money at the moment. Big gunfights coming in once more from the Rook. Fame trying to cause some havoc really all across the map. Into warehouse he flies. And from there, it is Bants who wins another one. We've been talking so much about the ARs.
Okay.
Right now, it's the SMGs who are having themselves some fun.
And he's starting to turn up. Like you said, in round number 1, he was sitting at 1 and 9, but now that's 2 in a row. 7 kills to his name. We know what Benjamin Vance is known for, and that's the plays and the routes that he likes to hit. Subliners have been yet to complete that first segment over towards A. They're trying to transition over towards B, but finally they take care of Vance. They can try to apply the pressure through the front end, but as long as Minnesota Rokkr have tower control, have to commit over towards this B point.
And that kill on the Hydra was huge. Problem being attached doesn't stay alive for much longer, so right now for New York, the spigot of spawns continues to flow to the top side of the map. Right into B we go, and now it's Priesta looking for a bit of information. Tarzan, as he climbs up the mountain, eventually does fall. But thankfully the time still is paused. Right now for New York, you're just hanging on to a few crucial lives just to stay intact. The player on that zone ends up falling, and from there, we're now left with 24 seconds. New York have got to get something going.
Yeah, they're over towards A. Hydra knows We're not going to be able to get towards B. Let's just transition to the easy one. Only 24 seconds left. You have to just clutch up in these fights. Fame has it one shot. Vance is going to fly for the kill. And now it's Prisa, the only guy here. He gets cut down. There's only 20 seconds left. Subliners have 2 segments done, but you cannot lose the round like this because Minnesota are going to take back the lead.
Yeah, that's the problem, right? You have really nothing done on the objective side if you're the Subliners. There's kind of a no-duh type of situation for Minnesota. They instantly recognize the push has got to be made over at A. But thankfully for New York, they've won a few fights out of spawns. Right now, it is Hydra and Skies, the Val Pals, who are trying to lead the charge and to keep this round going collectively on a 5 spree as we will gain another minute on the clock as New York desperately continue to search for the first attack of the game.
Yeah, they're able to extend the time, but for how long? Because there's only a minute left. You only have 11 lives remaining. You only have 1 to 2 more good pushes to make this attempt happen over towards B. So you don't really have a lot of map control. Fame takes down 1. Fame takes down the 2nd and Bance with the 3rd. New York forced to hit the reset button besides Skies. And with only 45 seconds left, Rokkr just need 1 more hold.
This gunfight, I was gonna say, it's massive right now for Skies. He's got a lot of work to do. Not only needs to find this kill, but also needs to kind of establish himself in top party, continue to be a beacon for attention. But right now, Attach, he's just having a blast. He's hanging out on the backside of the map. Skies eventually pieces him. That's going to be 2 right now for New York. They found that opening. They've got 3 players surrounding this objective. Right now for Rokkr, they're put in a spot where they're going to have to contest, Jay.
Oh yeah, and Fame, he's trying to find the opening through the flank, but that's already the 2nd segment done. Not a single player from Rokkr is near the point. Fame eventually does take down Priesta, and unfortunately the team name for Hydra, but it does not matter. The Subliners needed 1 opportunity. They get 3 dead. They know that Fame was in the back of their space. They leave him alone. They stack the point, and eventually leads to the round win. At the very end of that round, Subliners able to clutch on up. Now put themselves up 2-1.
I can imagine sitting in the back. You know, we have the opportunity to see the coaches and stuff. You know, they're watching the game, trying to strategize, figure things out. I think in that moment, when that nade lands, we see the team kill. I think Cinder and D-Roll, their heart had to drop
100%.
in that moment. Just like, wait, okay, a team kill happens? Okay, cool, we still got the round. Sweat off the brow if you're a New York fan. As they do grab our first attack of the game. Can they build upon it? Can they get us out of LSCLO nice and early? Or can Minnesota pull off some magic again? It's gonna have to be through the attacking side here. And already it is Vance eager to get to work.
Yeah, Rokkr had to start off with this one. It's gonna be back-to-back attacking runs. They want to try to close it out in 3-0. Already 30 seconds knocked off the game clock. Subliners in full control of Radiant Tower towards A. So you're forcing Minnesota to apply the pressure up through field. Cammy does take down 1. Cammy goes for the 2nd as well. So Minnesota have the opportunity to try to close out this B.
Yeah, this is exactly what you want to do right now if you're Minnesota. Get B out of the way, at least chip away at a few of those segments. Currently doing a great job. Player number 70, Kizert, he ends up falling back inside of the base. So you're doing everything that you have to right now if you're Rokkr. And right now, I believe it's Cammy, yeah, who's actually over toward top mountain. He continues to find players in stride. Jay, he has been so solid in this series. He's been on like multiple 4 or 5 sprees, had a few cruise missiles come in, and right now he's looking for another. New York end up finding 2, but for Minnesota, they just continue to wipe away time at B.
Yeah, that's at least the 2nd segment done, but now Subliners have full map control. That's a clean 3 dead. They're forcing all of Rokkr to try to fight out of their base. Vance starts it off with the 1st. The rest of his teammates still got to check their corners. The Subliners are great on defense. With only 20 seconds left, they're trying to force that game 4.
Fame, understandably so, has to bring in the cruise missile. Information is all that he will have. Cammy desperately hunting for something, but he ends up getting dropped as well. Rokkr working from their base, but there is a man who still remains, and that is Vance, bringing out the AR, keeping the game afloat. They jump on B. Can they gain this extra minute? Vance falls. Cammy 2. Can they get over toward A? It looks like they have. Minnesota hanging on by a thread as New York continue to style. This map is over.
And the Subliners stay alive. They come out in LSC.